Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott's Selections here for Wednesday, November 4th. Before we get into today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We ended up doing a two-pick teaser on the NFL in some upcoming matchups for the weekend. I know that some of you might be wondering why I always do that when it comes to giving out look-ahead lines in the NFL. It's usually because of line movement. I do think that some lines are going to be moving. So for that reason, I like to get good numbers. And that actually happened yesterday as we ended up taking the Texans, for example, at -0.5 in the 6-point teaser on FanDuel, which paid at a -120. And now I ended up climbing to -1 because the Texans went from 6.5 to 7-point favorites. So that's kind of why I end up doing it in advance. If I think a line is going to move, I'll try to jump it early to try to get maximum amounts of value. So that ended up working out so far. Hopefully that teaser will end up cashing. But for the Wednesday card, you actually have sports on, unlike yesterday. I know a ton of people were live betting the election, stuff like that. Coverage has been crazy. But for Wednesday, you do have a lot of college football games with the MAC. You have 6 games on. However, I actually was going to do a play on one of those games, but I decided not to at the last minute. And instead, I do see a very nice game for Thursday night that I do think will once again possess some serious line movement. And for that reason, I want to jump in sooner rather than later before it crosses over a key number. So for that reason, the matchup we're going to be looking at is going to be between Utah State and Nevada, as that game will be taking place on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. These teams have been heading opposite directions so far this season, as Nevada is 2-0 and Utah State is currently 0-2. Utah State has been awful this season. They've lost each of their first 2 games by at least 29 points. They've been very underwhelming, and I think that it should end up going from bad to worse moving forward. But looking at this actual matchup, I will be siding with the Wolfpack here. I think they will be able to get the job done, especially since Utah State has shown absolutely no signs of stopping anybody or even scoring. So the play of the day is going to be on Utah State -16, which is available on Fox Bet at -110, a time recording of 2:22 a.m. Eastern Time. So a couple reasons why. I know I talked about why Utah State's bad, but I'm going to go into the details now. They're only averaging 10 points per game, and they're giving up 40 points per game. I know they end up giving up 42 to Boise and make the argument that Boise is undefeated. They're a ranked team, the best team in the conference. That is true. However, they ended up playing San Diego State last week, and they ended up giving up 38 points. I know San Diego State has a good defense, so I can understand why Utah State's offense struggled. But giving up 38 points to San Diego State is inexcusable because San Diego State year in, year out is just a very underwhelming offense. And San Diego State not only scored 38 points, but put up 570 total yards of offense. Nevada, led by quarterback Carson Strong, we ended up taking them against UNLV on the joint show with Scott Steen last week. They ended up winning by 18. They covered the spread. Carson Strong's great. He has 6 passing touchdowns, 770 passing yards. They're averaging 37 points per game, and they're also averaging roughly 500 total yards of offense. If Utah State gave up 38 points to San Diego State, Nevada could easily drop 45 on them. And Utah State's offense with Shelley, who is leading the team in passing yards, he's no Jordan Love. I'll tell you that much. Utah State lost a ton of the bowl game team from last year, and it seems like they are in the middle of a long 2020 season because they might end up being the worst team in the conference. Are probably a little bit better than UNLV, but very, very close. I think Nevada should win this game by at least 17 points. That's why I'm taking it now, because I want to make sure I'm on the right side of that 17. Strong should throw for probably 3-4 touchdowns. I think Nevada's defense, which has struggled a bit up to this point, has actually looked okay. Wyoming's offense looked pretty good against Hawaii. That game went to overtime. They ended up winning that one, but they were up pretty heavily in that game before blowing it. So their defense has looked good at times. They've struggled a little bit with consistency for 60 minutes, but Utah State only averaging 10 points per game. I don't think they have enough firepower to keep up with Nevada on the scoreboard. So I do think Nevada should win this game, probably somewhere in the realm of 37-17 or so. And that sounds about right. I think Nevada should win pretty comfortably. So the play of the day, once again, here for Wednesday, November 4th, is going to be on the Nevada Wolfpack -16, which is available on Fox Bet at -110. That's been the Solomon Scott Selections. Good luck to all of you and respect the best today. Bye, everyone.